Don't like it sometimes. Do not like it, man. Waiting for an opponent. Seeking a game. And we get God's will. Ooh. Can we break God's will? I'm not sure I want to. Tarash. Seems like every game is the Tarash now. This, okay. Okay, I think I do this and a5. Strategical line. It will be black's queenside play versus white's kingside play. I have no idea who's less Stratus. I have a threat now. Knight takes e5. Lovers do. g4. I can take an e5. Knight takes. Bishop takes b5. Ah man, it's a standard idea here. I think he just missed it. He takes on e5. I take on b5. This should be great for me. Okay, he wants to play f5. Should I worry about it? Or just go like bishop e7? F5. Bishop d6, f5. Castles here. Huh. Or just go knight f6. h3, bishop d6. Okay, time. h5. Is that maybe too drastic? Yeah, let's do something drastic. Now I should be stopping all f5 ideas. Maybe just bishop g7 castles and the king should be safe. And the mopless pawn with potential light square domination. Domination in the station. One man, one domination. b3. This pawn has to give ground sooner or later. Maybe I'll take it. It's better to take it actually. Then I have a c4 square from a knight. Also from c4 I can jump to d6 and f5. I think queen e7 and rook c8. Ah, he has rook c7. Takes with the queen. This move. Let's keep everything protected. Knight e5. I think I take with a bishop. Yeah, let's just do it. Don't think about it. It's hard for him to activate his bishop. So exchange pieces. I hope my pawn, extra pawn, will decide this game. Okay, I take it. Now my knights are free to move. Knight c4 is coming probably. His bishop is very ineffective with all these his own pawns blocking his play. I have knight b6 to d5, which looks like a big threat right now. Okay, knight d5. Start with that. His king must move. So now the question becomes, should I exchange queens? Go king f8, bishop, blah blah blah. takes here, d7 here, when the pawn takes here. I just can't see him protecting. Seems like the simplest solution. Bishop b4, do I take it right away? No. See, my knight, it just controls the whole board. There's big problems moving his king. Where does his king go? Now I'm just trying to take on a b4 and play b5. Play b5 first, securing this pawn. And I simply take, have an extra pawn. And he resigns, yeah. So, yeah, I was somewhat happy with this game. Won this pawn with this. It's a nice pattern to know, and especially French. In the French structures, you can see it in the advanced version, sometimes in the towers, like here. So anytime the bishop comes to b5, let's see where we had this. Blah, 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 blah. So he played g4. Okay, flip the board. Yeah, he played g4. Now this bishop here is unprotected. Knight takes e5, which I did. Simply wins a pawn. He takes the knight, I take the bishop. I just won a pawn. This bishop is attacking this rook, and everything should be safe. Maybe I castle, maybe I don't. But I have the bishop pair pawn up. Should be great for black. He took on d7, but now the trick is, let's go back one move. Knight takes e5. Trick, of course, is that the knight just recaptures the bishop, coming back with a pawn in the back. So he did have some, annoying ideas like f5 here. And I went for something drastic with h5, thinking if he goes h3, I just take, leave the rook here active on the h file. Maybe castle queenside, maybe, or just leave the king in the center. And instead he went g5, but now g6. There's no f5, and it's important since this square is really weak. We don't want a white knight coming to the square, so it's important to recognize in this structure that these pawns are all covering squares that a knight could jump to f6 from. Also, I have given up my light squared bishop and I have a black squared bishop, so having the pawns on light squares complements the bishop well, both because his bishop can't attack the pawns and bishop and pawns take turns covering squares. Also, since we exchanged the light squared bishops, his light squares are really weak and I have knight jumps here. There's also a possibility to come back to d6 or from c4 jump into e4, jump into f5. So aside from being a pawn up, I think this structure is great and black is just winning. So I'm going to show you another instance of this knight takes e5 trick. You can also get it in advanced variation structures, like goes bishop b5, and right here we can probably right here just take, and it's the same, win the pawn, take back with the knight, but it's perhaps slightly more dangerous here because you get some queen h5, but it should be just, yeah, it's just fine, should be just fine. We'll win a pawn. So hopefully this was somewhat instructive, this both the French structure, the pawn structure, and also this bishop